Xingtong and Zhang are returning to the arena here in Hong Kong for the final mini session of the World Grand Prix final. And it's Xingtong holding the advantage. 7-5, 10 needed to be champion. It's been high quality. Xingtong's had 3 centuries, including that 111 in the 12th frame. Zhang displayed to a high level as well, but he finds himself trailing. And every chance he gets now, he knows he's really got to try and take just to stay in touch. There's still time for this to turn around. Possible 7 frames left, but it starts here and now in frame 13 of a possible 19. 180,000 to the winner, and the lovely World Grand Prix trophy as well.
Cube was racing a bit here, down towards the reds again. As he left that end one on. A surprising mistake. I think he wanted to play thin off the bunch, so he didn't push anything out, but in doing so, he overcooked it. Red by the black, though, is a worry already. Whether he could pot this and develop that red, it would be some shot if he could. Played it beautifully. What a shot. Wow.
Eight. Nine.
One of the opening session, Zhang made breaks of 91 and 2 of 84. Obviously all frame-winning contributions.
$16. $17.
Well, that has opened up everything.
24.
He's going to put his cue in the gap between those 2 reds here. I mean, the opening red with the rest
25.
where he cannoned the other red out was... I mean, it's a terrific shot. I mean, it's not as if he went into it knowing he was going to have that shot. It just came up as a consequence of a bad safety shot. Slightly bad anyway, slightly not as planned. Small disturbance there.
Well, it's the 5th black coming up. When he won the International Championship in 2023, he actually made a maximum in the final.
Yes, I suppose he could make one here. For now, he has to get this frame secured. Clearly, where the balls are, any mistakes could see him go further behind. But the bottom line, it really is a good chance, actually, for staying on reds and blacks for the foreseeable.
48.
We've had 22 this season, and he made the most recent, Zhang, at the German Masters just last week in Berlin. From his very first chance in the very first frame against Barry Hawkins.
Well, here's the thing. Let's look at what he chooses to do here, because it's absolutely simple to pot this and play on the pink. But is he going to continue on the black? There is your answer. There is your answer, because he really didn't have to do that.
Zhang Dong made a 144 against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Today, Zhao Xingtong made a 145. So he, top of the high breaks chart for the £10,000 prize. But could it go here in dramatic fashion? Zhang has made 5 maximums in his career, 2 this season. The first was in the Shanghai Masters.
Yes, I don't know if he's got the perfect angle here. So the frame isn't won yet, so can he afford to drop this in and hold for the black? It's probably what he will do. But if he misses, he could still come unstuck here. It's okay. Could be better, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is it looks like frames his, 2 snookers needed without this black.
He might be able to play this Dave with left-hand side, and of course the pot is more difficult, but he's heading back into the vicinity of the reds in the middle of the table. Looks like he's going to the bottom of the cue ball. It's tough.
That's a shame, but as I say, it looks like the frame is his. 73, the break ends at 67 on the table, so 2 snookers.
Well, reds and blacks and anything that takes him to within 1 red left on the table will keep the frame alive, I think. These things are possible. But this would take a bit of believing, wouldn't it? A maximum attempt getting so far and then the frame still going.
We had a close-up lesson, didn't he, about how to lay snookers from Chris Wakelin. That decider, he got very close to stealing a frame that was all day long over.
$16. 17.
I mean, you can kind of see where the first snooker is going to come from. Whichever red he takes next would probably be the left-hand one. Although that is not hit hard enough.
$24.
You might have to take a colour other than the black here. Didn't stop him trying because it wouldn't change a lot of things if he could get on the pink perhaps.
$25.
I mean, the pink back on its spot, really, it doesn't change a lot. The snooker is on the last red, it seems. That's not a very good shot. Don't know when the pink goes, whether you can see all of the red.
31.
And he clearly won't be potting the red here because he's got to get the snooker and hopefully the free ball. It's a good shot. Can he get to the left cushion? And the question, if he was tight in behind the black, this would be a world of trouble. But I have a feeling he can just sneak across that side of the table. I think it's one of those situations he thought about that and he, well, look, if I can't hit the red, hit the yellow. It's not the worst outcome. It means no free ball anyway. And of course no miss will be called because the snooker's required. But he's only down to 1 now.
Yeah, and of course the other thing is nothing's safe. So if Zhao Xingtong were to get the second snooker, everything's possible. For all the big breaks and sort of flash pots we've seen in this final, this could be yet the most significant moment.
He's not got the snooker, but as he left a very thin cut, and is it so thin that Zhang would not feel very comfortable about knocking it in? mean, if the red goes in and he goes in off in the bottom left, it's not a big problem because the red's off the table. But he wasn't prepared to take any risks of that kind. I think it might have cut in. Very lucky, but it should be hittable. It's a one cushion, you'd think, fairly regulation escape. Tell you another thing here, that the yellow's gone into a promising place for getting snookers right there. You know, can easily see the cue ball trapped in behind that. Certainly a bit of life still in this frame. But that was not as good as it might have been. He'd be disappointed there. That was a possibility.
Well, it appears Xingtong was in a snooker himself.
I'm not sure it's easy to hit without playing a swerve, because of the yellow, of course, covering the right side. Oh my goodness. How about that? It's just given a few awkward moments, this, for Zhang, isn't it? Because I know the green's been pushed to the cushion, but don't know it. I mean, he probably hit this as well, but he's one of these, I suppose you could slip past the red, playing around two cushions. I don't think he'll miss it, but I've seen them missed.
It's all anxiety. He doesn't need. I mean, he's made a 73 break. You know, the frame, he was sort of coasting towards the line. Now suddenly it's all got a little bit sticky.
Of course, the other thing to say, he could pop red-black. Xingtong, if he wanted to. Obviously, if he can avoid it like there, he will. But you know, he can now pop the red and the black. It would mean one snooker on the colours. A few awkward moments here, though. It's been a superb frame, actually. You know, not with only the break building of Zhang, but the fight back, if you like, from the world champion. but he doesn't look like missing them, does he? Let's be honest. I know he missed one earlier, but I think he was quite happy to hit the yellow. Not leave a free ball on that occasion. I think Xingtong would have loved the red to bounce out into open play. But being pretty picky because it was a very good shot. The brown is quite close to being in the way of the single cushion escape, the bolt cushion back down for the red. To go twice up and down. Amazing shot, isn't it? Amazing shot. It's the only way you could go, I think.
Warmly appreciated by this large crowd at the Kai Tak Arena. What a battle this is. Zhao Xingtong, rightly known as a wonderful ball striker, great potter, great builder, but showing a bit of metal here, putting Zhang under it. Wonderful pot, and that secures the frame and just holds off that a moment of uncertainty put on him by Zhao Xingtong. He made the 73, of course, was in the throes of a maximum. The main thing is he's pulled one back, and this final could yet be heading for a very exciting conclusion. It's been real high quality, and they're sticking in there very nicely. What about that shot? So Zhao Xingtong's spirited attempt to get the snooker, but it is Zhang who reduces the gap to 7-6. Wonderful match this, wonderful final for the crowd here at the Kai Tak Arena in Hong Kong. The World Grand Prix, the first leg of the Players Series. Zhao Xingtong leads Zhang under 7-6, 10 the target to take away the trophy and the 180,000. Really good crowd in this evening as well. And it's been a terrific week. Of course, it has been dominated by the Chinese contingent. Both of whom in the final here, Xingtong and Zhang, of course, have put themselves in the next Players Series event. That's for the top 16 on the one. You list the Players Championship, and then there's two more tournaments, the World Open and Welsh Open, before the Tour Championship for the top 12. Zhao Xingtong still ahead, but not being able to really break free of Zhang Anda. He's been a couple of frames ahead a couple of times, but Zhang proving to be very stubborn. You know, he's won a big tournament, that international championship, a huge event that he won a couple of seasons back. And, of course, his last final, the Players' Championship against Mark Allen. It's a long match, that, but he really stuck with Allen. Just lost out 10-8, but it was a closely fought encounter.
What a beautiful, clean shot that he knocked in. And the balls are lined up ever so well. But he's not pleased with that shot because he's not the tallest player on the tour, and he will be stretching on this next red to right corner. Yes, this is not the red he was looking to play.
Standard 5.
Yeah, I think the reason he played that red actually was he felt that perhaps he wouldn't leave anything. Sending the cue ball across to the right, but he looked very disappointed. Does anything go that we don't know about? You got just a fleeting glimpse of the table there, and that red through the gap is that potable. Wow. There's the smallest gap you'll see. That is incredible. That's why Zhang Anda looked so disappointed, because a small gap appeared through all the reds.
Yes, and on such fine margins, you know, frames are won and lost. Crowd living every moment. A few of them wondered if that black would drop.
8. 9. 16. 17.
Well, he's got to sort the pink out. I wonder if Zhao Xingtong has heard about the Crucible Curse yet. If he hasn't, he will do. very soon. No first-time champion defending the title, etc., etc. He'll have that to think about in a couple of months' time. But after the way he played last year, maybe the curse will be dispelled once and for all. Of course, we don't know who he could play in round one. You know, he could play someone like Zhang, couldn't he, in round one? That first day, as Karen Wilson found out last year, can be the one that is the sticky one, really.
Yes, my feelings about that are that he could break it. I never really believe that it's going to be easy for anyone to get over that hurdle. It all depends, as you rightly say. You could be dumped out on the first day, and many a champion and a first-time champion has happened to, including as recent as last year. If he can overcome day one, then
34.
who knows? He's a wonderful player. That's the key, isn't it? Suited to long matches, I think. I don't suppose anyone thought an amateur would be world champion, so the curse is nothing compared to that. It's a great split, but what is he on?
31.
Gave it everything, didn't he? Gave it everything, rolled it. Maximised his chances of the red dropping.
$37. 38.
So already 40
45.
to the good. Plenty of reds to go at here for an 8-6 lead.
46. $53. 54. 61.
That was a little too close for comfort, wasn't it, to the top jaw like that? But it still went in. I suppose if nearest you're going to get to a mistake is a ball that only just goes in rather than stays out, then it's not going so badly. Because he hasn't really looked like missing during the course of this break.
$67.
Well, just needs one more red, this one. So he's just holding Zhang off, isn't he? Zhang, he's staying in touch, but can't quite get back on level terms, which of course is where they were when they resumed at 4-4.
Yeah, and if you remember, Dave, how it all started this frame, he missed that red, didn't he? And thought he'd hidden the cue ball on the right. There was a wall of reds, but there was the smallest gap through to one red. Incredible. And Zhang is probably still thinking of that now.
Absolutely. You know, it's just a few millimetres here and there, isn't it, that's made the difference. We said at the time it can make the difference between winning and losing a frame, and it's cost Zhang.
83.
And now Zhao Xingtong with a chance to make his 4th century of the final.
84.
If he can deal with these awkward reds. Nothing really seems that awkward to him, does it? He's playing delightful
91.
snooker.
92.
I suppose the fact that he's a left-hander is one thing that might stop him. That's all I can imagine, because a right-handed player would find it
99.
easy to run this down the cushion, or easier.
Just fell in, and there's the century. Crowd loving this.
Well, it's been sensational. I mean, it really has. I think Zhang has played beautifully as well, and you know, he's at the point of
107.
going 2 down again. So we're seeing a level of snooker in this final which is up there with anything you'll ever see, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely right. I think Zhang has played to a level in some finals this season. He would have won them, but you know, it's about obviously how your opponent plays, and Zhao Xingtong has brought his A game to the title match for sure.
116.
Dazzling exhibition of snooker from the world champion.
121. 127.
Another great break in a final full of them. Trying a trick shot on the black, and what about that? Wonderful stuff from Zhao Xingtong, a 1-3-4, and he's 2 away from the title at 8-6. Well, it's a big stage, this Kai Tak Arena, and it's a big occasion as well. Zhao Xingtong certainly playing in that manner, leading 8-6. He's made 4 centuries. We're just waiting for Zhang to return frame 15. It just feels like a must-win frame. He's got to try and stay in touch. He's not doing a lot wrong, is he? That's the thing. He's playing well himself, but at this level you don't have to. Crowd loved that black, didn't they? The exhibition shot at the end, but it was a terrific break again. 1-3-4 from Zhao Xingtong, who needs just 2 more now to collect the £180,000 first prize, plus of course that 10,000 with the 145 he made earlier.
Just thinking, you know, one thing about snooker is if you're a top player and you think, right, my best form will beat anybody, and then you find out that your best form doesn't always beat anybody because the person in the other chair can be as sensational as zhao xingtong has been.
Number 15. Zhang not to break.
Well, even the break-off shot is causing Zhang some concern. Has he left a red out on either side? Or is the green just covering the pair of them? Well, I think there's your answer, just about.
Entries that Xingtong has made: 130, 145, 111, 134. He's also had 75, 85 and another 75.
Terrific shot. It's a brave shot, actually, because he knew he was crashing into the bunch, and the red that he was playing was not a certainty, but he could hardly have controlled it any better. The black, as you can see, is well and truly tied up at this stage.
5.
So it's a question of how this break develops.
Six.
None of this looked likely when he trailed Mark Selby 4-1. And at 4-3, Selby was in early and missed a black off the spot unexpectedly. Just opened the door. Of course, Xingtong won 5-4.
12. Thirteen.
Yes, and you could argue that Zhang in his last match against Zhou Yulong didn't play a double in the deciding frame on the last blue, which would have been match ball had that gone in, because been different finalist. These moments are always there, aren't they?
$18.
Finished a bit in between, though, isn't he? As you can see, the positioning of the cue ball is right in between all of the reds he wants to play. So it's a thin one cut back here. Which he negotiates absolutely delightfully.
24.
At the moment, he's just taking what is there,
25.
knowing that the black still isn't close to being in play. He's building a lead of some kind.
Thirty. 31. 36. 37.
Well, he's getting on this blue ball very precisely, and of course it can be a little difficult. You finish straight or wrong side. Negotiate a path right round through the bolt colours, but when you get on the blue perfectly every time, it's not a problem.
42.
Good shot as well. Played it safe there. He knew that there were plenty of options down the table. This is a really superb break. I know that it won't hit the numbers of previous
47.
breaks in this match because he's taken some low-value colours, but he's not taken them well. An
48.
absolute delight to watch him. He's some player, he really is.
$53. 54.
Once again, absolutely perfectly in behind the blue. He's another red. I wonder if those two reds might have been a plant. We've spotted them
59.
earlier in the frame. Can he rely on it though? I don't think he can.
60.
So looking at the cue ball there with a bit of suspicion, but the snooker needed. Obviously wants to ensure the frame is his.
Yeah, I mean the blue's a bit close to in off into the right corner pocket if he just rolls it. They didn't need that to happen. That's why he played it at the pace he did, because it was on his way to the right corner. The break might have come to an end.
65.
But I can honestly say I think that was a genius break of 65 for me. The pink was never really involved. The black was never in play. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it's not always about the number, is it? It's about how it's made and looking likely to put him 9-6 in front. And if it is 9-6, then it'll be 3 clear for the first time. Well, it's the boots on the other foot, of course, in the last frame. Well, 2 frames ago, wasn't it? Zhao needed 2 snookers. Now it's Zhang who needs 2. needs to be on the pink, really.
1.
Yeah, he was just giving points away, isn't he? It was a terrific shot, wasn't it? He's not seen a ball for a while.
Well, blue, he'd be 59 behind with 51 on. You say 51 on, that's with blacks, of course, which is covered. And the blue's in.
No, but the point you make is absolutely right. I mean, the more
6.
low-value colours he takes with the remaining reds, of course, the more snookers he needs. It's as simple as that.
Seven. Thirteen. $14.
And the plan would be to pot this and finish below the black spot and lay a snooker there behind the black and take the red down the table. It's not out of the question. But a lot depends how well he plays the next shot, I feel. Well, he's unlucky. It was a difficult shot. It's just great effort, this, to make anything of a bad situation in the frame. Let's be honest. Done extremely well to get to this point.
Done that. 20.
Well, he'd done well until that point. Because that was nowhere near what was required at that point in the match, in the frame. Could be in a snooker of his own here.
Yes, it's looking very likely that Zhang is going to have to win the last 4 frames if he's going to win this tournament. And that's a tall order, considering how well Zhao Xingtong has played. His level has not dropped all day. It's been his A game, really, right from the start.
A little bit dangerous, that shot, because he's setting himself up to be in a snooker the next time he comes to the table. Cue ball down to the bulk end. Doesn't get much wrong, does he, Zhao Xingtong? But I do think that last shot was not so great, because he was always going to end up snookered in the end. I mean, he's got to make up a lot of points, 10 points. He's playing a swerve here. Goodness, not much room. What a shot that was. I mean, this is pretty precise stuff, isn't it? He took it as if it was nonchalant and easy.
left spot on. If he has, then looks like frame over for sure. Yeah, no, not a good shot that, Zhang.
What?
So it's going to be 9-6 for sure. It's going to take something special to stop Zhao Xingtong now. The way he's playing, you fancy he might just need one chance to get it won. Zhao Xingtong 3 frames clear now, 1-1 away from the title here in Hong Kong, leading Zhang under 9-6.
From 60, zhao xingtong to break.
Well, the crowd have been royally entertained here today. Question is how much more snooker will be played, because Zhao Xingtong needs one more frame to become World Grand Prix champion. Zhang Anda, we know, is a stubborn character. He's played terrifically well himself. He hasn't taken much to lose frames, but can he find a way back in and at least put some pressure on?
Well, the moment that he missed went to some form of safety anyway, but is there anything to right middle? Once again, there was a gap, but it doesn't mean that the pot to middle was any easier. It's because he could get through to it.
8.
Well, we'll see how far he gets, but from what we've seen today, this could well be the last visit of this final. It's a Chinese New Year in a few days' time. The year of the horse. And Zhao Xingtong can well and truly see the winning line here, the finishing post in this World Grand Prix. He's played brilliantly. But not just in the final, all week. I think we've seen all sides of his game. He's scored really heavily. But his tactical game as well, and against some of the great tacticians, has held up very strongly.
Well, there's the zip on the cue ball that he gets, but this time it's not
31.
made it all that clear as to which red he's on. He may have a red, but he got so much work on that ball for so little effort. Going to cut back thin one. Beautiful, really delightful. Well, this time he might just be a little fortunate, actually. He hasn't needed a lot of luck today, but he might have got a bit there. They're very close together, and Zhang Weili, the referee, will look to make sure there's no push shot played.
38.
I think he's got a chance, you know. Genuinely think that he's got a chance to take snooker to the next level.
45.
Some of the shots he's playing in amongst them on this big stage against an opponent
46.
close to the top of his game, he's playing majestic snooker for me. He's got better as the week's gone on. It's a joy to watch him.
Yeah, these talents, they don't emerge every week, but they do emerge in different sports. You look at Carlos Alcaraz come along in tennis. Luke Littler, of course, in darts. You know, you think the old era can never be overturned, but it is. And Zhao Xingtong, certainly a flag bearer of a new era in snooker. He's already world champion,
61.
and he's a few balls away from winning this title as well. And he has played superbly.
62.
2 more pots needed. And a chance to finish in style with his 5th century of the day. Zhang Anda has not done a lot wrong, has he? He's played to a very high level himself. But he's playing someone very special here.
Yeah, and the grace in which he goes about what he's doing, I think, is the point, isn't it? You know that a lot of players can make centuries, a lot of players can play well, but
70.
there's a real beauty in the way he does it.
Well, they're cheering because that is effectively championship ball. Just needed one chance again. And the late, great John Virgo was right. There's always a gap.
77.
He could see a red through the gap. He potted it, and he hasn't looked back.
It would be nice if he could keep this break going, I think, just for a little bit longer. He's finished a little awkwardly on this red.